Hi, my name is Kelly Elsas with IdeateTV. We are here at the Dances with Films Festival. We are here with Frankie and Steve, and we are going to discuss their film, Breakfast at Berghain. I have seen this film, and I loved it, and I was wondering the inspiration behind it.
So our writer-director, Autumn Palin, had been to Berlin and found out about this legendary nightclub that is impossible to get into.
Yeah.
And so then she kind of took that experience and put it through her kind of absurdist lens.
Yeah.
Combined with this kind of like subversive kind of Cinderella story aspect. It's very much the parody of like the American who comes from abroad and has completely changed their personality, has picked up a new accent, and just taken as far as you possibly can. And then there's also like found family and self-discovery, and it's fairly queer-coded. There's a lot to this film that I think rewards repeat viewings, even though the plot is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
And I would say, just as us as producers, we love to work in like absurdism, surrealism, and when Frankie discovered the script, it totally felt like something that we could have written, but it just like fit our model. And so we love to champion artists, and Autumn was great, and it was her brainchild, and then we just needed to make it. We needed to get into production, and now we're here, so full circle.
Yeah, Autumn is primarily a cinematographer. That's how we connected with her. We were working on another shoot together, but she wrote, directed, shot, and co-edited this film. We co-edited it together. It's such an amazing vision. She made the version of the film that I saw in my head when I first read the script.
Yeah.
And I think she would say the same thing, but like we absolutely could not have made this without her. And I think she feels the same way. 2 years ago, we did the script swap. 1 year ago, during last year's Dances with Films, we got our full budget. And so to be here this year, premiering the film for its world premiere, it's really amazing to be full circle. And who knows where we'll be next year.
Yeah. How exciting. Also, I noticed the oranges in the film. Like, I noticed the way people were eating oranges was like almost like eating an apple. Can you guys get into why they're doing that?
Sure. Partly because one of our producing partners in the film is Bad Orange. And so we wanted to make sure we implemented oranges in some way.
Yeah.
And then it's a breakfast in the house scene and at the end of the film, if you watch it. Like spoiler alert.
Bookend.
And so it's a nice front end and bookend, while also like paying homage to them, and also just absurd with the eating it like an apple. Thank you to our cast for doing that weird action. It's awesome, and it's like kind of gross, and it makes you feel uncomfortable in the beginning scene. But I think at the end, when spoiler alert again, when she bites into the orange, it's like satisfying. So it's like it's interesting. Like it starts cringy a little bit, like what the fuck is this? And then sorry for swearing. And at the end, I think it's like a victory almost, that she's this coming of age. She's finally blossomed into who knows what happens next, but into something very different than she starts out as.
I definitely just want to underscore the Bad Orange connection. We met those folks a couple years ago. They run a film festival in Miami Beach, and of the 9 films that they programmed, 2 of them were Nice Hog shorts. So they came from us, and that was really exciting. It's the first time that we'd had 2 of our films play in the same festival. And so we met those folks. We connected with them. We really liked them. They liked us. There was a sensibility there. And so we were looking for opportunities to collaborate with them. But because they were in Miami Beach and we're here, being on set together wasn't necessarily going to happen immediately. And so we brought this project to them. The wheels were already in motion. And they said, we'd love to come aboard and help support your festival run. And for indie filmmakers, getting your initial budget is one thing, but then getting the film out there in front of audiences is a whole other ballgame. And sometimes those resources can be limited. And so the fact that they were willing to back Autumn's vision, to back our project and get it out in front of audiences, one, it's in the spirit of indie collaboration that it took a village. But also, I would just say that like that is one of the goals I think everyone has going into a film festival is like, how do you connect with somebody who's either going to help your next project get made or get seen? So just big shout out to John and Ethan over at Bad Orange. We really appreciate you guys. And we hope that you love the film as much as we do.
What do you want people to take away from this film?
That they should bring back Crystal Pepsi, that they should allow more dogs to DJ.
Yes, DJ Fido.
We love DJ Fido. We are so grateful that he made an appearance on the red carpet.
Yeah, he's insane.
Orange carpet. They're gonna dock my pay for calling it a red carpet. It's an orange carpet. It was our first time working with really any animal, alive or puppet, in one of our projects. And it was one of those things that when we first read the script, we were like, I don't know if we're going to be able to pull this off. Like a dog DJ is a little ambitious. We're super happy to be able to do it. So I would say I hope what people take away from this film is one, just like Rosie, go and follow your dreams. Like leave home, go pursue whatever it is that is your bliss. Go find your Berghain. But also, as indie filmmakers, like you have to greenlight yourself. And if you don't take a swing at something, like it won't happen. And so we took a lot of swings with this film, and I'd say minus one scene that we cut. Sorry to our friend Carson, who is in that scene. He's still credited, but he's not in the movie anymore. Everything else that we really tried made it on screen.
He's good.
He worked on the film. He's part of Nice Hog. He's totally cool with it.
Wait, what was the scene, if you don't mind me asking?
So there's a scene prior to the arrival at the airport.
Okay.
Where Rosie stops at a gas station, and it actually it sets up the setup for a different gag that we also cut because we have a cameo in the film, where basically everywhere she was going there were these like gruff men with mustaches, and so I shaved my beard and was in drag as a man to be this like character, and Carson had a similar look. He grew out a mustache for it, and we were all just eating ham sandwiches. That was for whatever reason the bit, and I had never eaten a ham sandwich before, and so I'm not an actor, but I really could not fake that I did not like it, and so that scene got cut. And so without the payoff, the setup didn't make any sense. And so that scene got cut. And we're pretty sure that there was someone on set for the gas station scene who was not an extra. It was just the person there that we didn't, someone else that we did not feel comfortable exploiting on screen. And so that was also a reason that we said, hey, let's just kill this scene if it's not working. And so sometimes you got to kill your darlings, even though we suffered for our art in eating those ham sandwiches. They were awful. Sorry. One of our crafty people, I think, made them, so I'm sure they were fine.
They were very minimal. There was no mayonnaise or anything. It was just ham. It was ham bread, which is not great.
I don't like mayonnaise, so.
Well, it would have helped for me.
When you guys were casting this, what were you guys looking for?
So Dominique Booth, who plays Rosie, our star, our movie star.
Yeah.
She's so magnetic. She lights up the screen. As one of the editors, every time she's not on screen, I'm like, when are we going to get back to Rosie's story?
Yeah.
Which I hope people feel in the movie as well. But the whole cast is phenomenal. But when Autumn brought this project to us and we said, okay, we want to make this, it's kind of a package deal. Dominique and Autumn are longtime friends. This part, while not necessarily written directly for her, she'd been attached to it for a long time, well before it was going to be an actual produced short. And so we were thrilled to have Dominique as our lead. And then the cast around her, shout out to our casting director, Nikki Nguyen, who built out this amazing cast. Johnny Briseño, who is Walter, and also the judge. He plays a dual role. He's also, I think, instrumental to establishing the tone of the film.
Totally.
As soon as Walter enters that house, if you haven't figured out what kind of movie it is, suddenly you do. And then the family members around them, again, it's all credit to our casting director for finding phenomenal talent who brought these kind of like live action Far Side characters to life.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then the second half, that's a lot more like friends and favors as far as filling out the cast. That's why
fun,
we're in it.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
And it also is like we had to fill out a nightclub full of people.
Yeah.
And so we kind of took all comers.
Yeah, I'm super impressed with our cast. We know what the kind of films we make, but it's really important that our cast and crew, mostly the cast, really understand the tone.
Yes.
The dialogue is a little wacky, some alliteration that's interesting.
Totally.
Mouth feels, yeah, right. So I was so impressed with our cast, just like understanding the tone, not going too exaggerated, but also there's this surrealism to it. Johnny, for instance, like there's a moment in the first act where he starts out with this like Englishy kind of accents, like I'm a proper guy or whatever, right? Exactly. And then all of a sudden, when he's like alone with our lead in the hallway, he like shifts just to like a normal like tone, and like it's this like, okay, I understand what's going on. So if he didn't really get that tone shift, but he was phenomenal. He's in another film here at the film festival. So happy to work. Knighted. That's right. Shout out Knighted. I just after doing the screening, it's always when you're working in absurdism and even comedy in general, it's like, okay, we wrote these jokes. Now let's get an audience and like see if they work, and from my experience, it was a really engaging audience, and it was so satisfying to see the payoff. When you do like stand up, at least you get the audience reaction immediately. For a comedic film, having that audience reaction is so satisfying.
I'd say, I very much was sweating bullets for months, knowing that we were in a midnight block. Benny is our midnight programmer at Dancing with Films. He's phenomenal. He's got great taste. Of course he does. But I know the types of movies that he likes for midnights. And that's not exactly Breakfast at Berghain. There's no blood. There's no guts. There's no gore. There's no scares. It's a comedy. And so for months, I was kind of like, what's this going to be like in the theater? Is this audience going to literally demand blood and we're not going to have it? But the block was really, really funny. Almost every film either was a horror comedy or had a lot of levity. And so by the time that we played in the block, that audience was active. They were engaged. They were primed to laugh. And so that's honestly one of the most receptive audiences I think we've ever had the privilege to screen for. And that's been the case for every single midnight showing that we've been able to go to. We've gone to all of the midnight shorts blocks. And each one is not only better than the last, but the audience knows what they're there for. And so it's just nice to like find our tribe.
That's awesome. Where can people watch this movie and where can people follow your careers?
So you can follow us at Nice Hogstagram on Instagram. You can check out our website at nice-hog.com. And that's kind of where all of our stuff lives. Breakfast at Berghain just had its world premiere, so it's going to be a minute before it's online. We're going to hopefully have a long festival circuit run. And we have a full slate of shorts, stuff that's already out, stuff that's been produced and is just waiting to go on their own festival circuit run, and new stuff that's entering production as we speak. We're always thinking 5-10 steps ahead, and so we always want to have those next projects ready to go, and we're super excited for those. Hopefully they'll premiere at a festival near you soon.
Yeah, check out our YouTube, Nice Hog, and there's a lot of content there. All of our sketches, all of our short films that are not in film festivals or have been in film festivals, now they're out. We do a weekly podcast. We do streams. Check us out. We produce a lot of content. So Nice Hog, nice-hog.com.
It's all comedy or genre work.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for taking the time to chat. And it is a really good movie, and you guys should everyone should go see it.
Yeah. Thank you.